Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. This morning, we'll be talking about smart Robie, especially if you're a beginner. This is something very suitable for you, as we will also be drilling down to some of the particular great benefits and feature of smart Robie. Definitely, this is one of the things that you can look at. And of course, with our smart Robie, you do get live data with all our charts in here. So what we have for you this morning, let's get on to our smart Robie. That's right. Now this morning, of course, we're going to be looking at the KLSE. Let's switch to a wider chart in here, and definitely many of you would have seen and would have known that our KLSE has turned red Pentagon. That's right. Since it's turned red Pentagon in here, the expectation for this market is pretty much not going to be the rally that we are seeing. After all, what I've talked about earlier on, I spoke about the seasonality of the December rally, which we've seen the last 6 out of 7 years. This December, we didn't see it really rallying as such that it starts to fizzle right off. Now, as we talk about, as the mounting recession is coming. So let's take a look at what we have. And don't forget, today is our last day for our VSA 360 December sales. So make sure you catch it in here. Buy one, get one free. So more of that towards the end of our show in here. So take note. Remember, the early bird always get the early worm in here. Now let's take a look at what is the topic this morning in here. What we have said before, pretty much like we were looking forward for the December rally that we have, but yet it didn't appear. Usually the year end, and maybe we do get it on the last 3 days, like what we saw last year on the 31st. 30th and 29th of December. We only saw that rally, and much of it pretty much sort of sideways and tends downwards. But definitely for sure, if you have checked with the VSA 360, our so-called dashboard for our premium website and users, we are seeing foreign funds started to leave this market in here, and no doubt red Pentagon is here, so a lot of the expectation is this market likely to tend downwards. But the only positive thing, like you see on top of me, the chart in here, is the charts is still holding above the 20-day moving average. So you can really much say that it is still looking to be somewhere in between, looking toppish. There are weakness in the background, but at the same time, it is still holding up above the 20-day moving average in here. And of course, if you're a beginner, stick to the FA Robie stock, and some of those we will review. What we had chosen in our past episode, in episode 197 and so forth in here. But the market right now is undergoing a lot of volatility, as we've seen in here. And for those of you who have joined me this morning, appreciate if you could also share this video and give us a thumbs up. And in Selangor, it is a public holiday, but the market is still opening like we've seen the usual in it. Now, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil those in, and I'm happy to look into them for you this morning in here. All right, let's get on to the other agenda that we have in here. And so far this morning, you can see from here the market is down 7 points. Some of the biggest, let me switch to a wider chart here. You have really active Bonio oil. We got consumer, which is about 27 million. Then we have Scope. All these are penny stocks. Big gainer is Batu Kawan, and we have KLK. Well, a lot of those are the plantation. And you also have big decliner Hextech, Pet Gas, Tengaga, Vitrox, Healthcare, and so forth. So that's pretty much what we have, and the market's not looking the enticing that we want to see it over and over again. So this is what usually we get when the market is with a public holiday in Selangor. Maybe the volume we will see has sort of dropped down a fair bit too. Okay, now let's go on to our other agenda in here. No doubt there are some past winner like PJ Boomi with our Pentagon winner was about 68%. That was on the 29th of November. So check out some of those that have done well. CFF has done pretty well too in here. CTOS, those are really small losers that we've seen in here. Okay, let's go on to the next slide in here. Right now we can see the KLCI. The KLCI is supported at 1460, 1450, and you can see from top here. Let me just switch to the laser pointer. You have this nice support here. So that would be the big support that we really want to see, the 1470. If it does break below in here, that doesn't look very good. But this morning when the market was supposed to open on the upside and continue uptrend, but we are seeing resistance, and that's why we see the sell-off in here. Market tend to move and hold on to its sideways in here. But one of the real reasons you can notice is foreign funds started to leave. So whenever you see foreign funds start to leave, this is usually the kind of market that we will likely to get. So that's why it's important that we hang on to this market in here, and hopefully we do see foreign funds coming back eventually. But then again, a lot of disappointing news. They are still waiting for the US Federal Reserve to raise interest rate. Is this going to be 75 basis point, 50 basis point? So those things hasn't been done yet. All right. So that's what the market is waiting, some sort of catalyst news, and perhaps why we don't see the December rally that we see. All right. And the good thing is the railway track, which you see the two trends are still going up, but it's not moving in the kind of usual December rally that we've seen in here. All right, so take note of the market in here. On our market stages on our VSA plugin in here, where are we now? We are actually in pretty much stage 3, maybe going to stage 4. You can see this distribution in here when the market hit almost the 200 moving average, which is actually a good point. As I said before, there was a time to really take profit. The market has come back down in here. If this support do feel that it can hold, then we might see this market likely to move upward, retesting the 150. But take note, readers, and take note, listeners, it's important at that time the market able to break out. If it's not, that is going to be the resistance that you see here, 1520, 1550, and then another one 1505. So that will probably tell you our market is likely to be trending down, and we won't see any likelihood again from a technical side of VSA a breakout beyond 1500 in the second part, maybe in March 2023 in here. No doubt market has turned red Pentagon, so keep note of it in here. Yellow trend zone, so everything's still pointing downwards. The only thing that is positive, it is staying above the 20-day moving average. Okay, look into that one. So let's also look into the other sectors. Now let's take a look at the hot sectors that we have this morning. What's really hot here? Okay, and this is one of the new features where all the Pentagon Guider dates, whether it is red Pentagon or green Pentagon, they are all sorted out, right, being the latest Pentagon on top of in here. So hit on hot sectors. And for this week, now remember last Monday we were looking at the top item. So the top item was technology here. So right, and then there was construction and energy. But this round we'll be looking at energy. All right. So you can hit on energy. So energy is our third item. And when you just scroll to the top, and you can notice Sapura, energy, those are just turned green Pentagon, 9th of December. Some has turned red Pentagon. Icon offshore, hibiscus turned red Pentagon on 8th of December. Dayang also turned red Pentagon, Petron M. Some of them are still holding up, like Petra, which turned green Pentagon on the 21st of it. And if you allow some sort of time that they run, it actually pick up in here. Coastal contract too. But let's take a look at the Sapura Kencana. Now bear in mind, Sapura Kencana is a really penny stocks. So usually we don't want to trade those. But it's good to really observe them. And let me just put up the charts as it comes out in here. Right, and you can see this is a lot of ding dong here, ding dong there, and that's why we have this kind of thing. And next on our list is Hibiscus, Icon Offshore, another penny stock. You can see small cap. Let's look at the large cap here. And Hibiscus, let's look at the chart. Now Hibiscus had a nice run before eventually turned red Pentagon. All right, you can see here went to the top, but the showcasing one was the upthrust All right, so always take note whenever you see upthrust as the market heading up, especially in a relatively weak market that we see right now in here, which we were thinking, that December rally will continue, but since then, the upthrust was the first foretell sign that the market is turning. You can see UT in here in the market turn. However, it is still holding above the 40-day moving average. So you can see a 2-bar reversal just at this spot here, and the market still holding up in here. So again, if you want to look into buying, wait for the green Pentagon. All right. And you can also check out some of the others sector in here if you are, especially the beginner, you want to be looking into this. Of course, this is something the beginner can pick up and learn about sector analysis in here. But the usual, we will highly recommend to stick to the Robie FA list in here that we talk about. Okay. Now, any comments or things you'd like to go on, just pencil those in. I'm happy to look into it. So take note, the main trade idea from hot sector, they're usually sorted out by 5 sectors. They're by Pentagon Gate, by market cap, and Pentagon percentage, like we've seen just now here. So these are the 5 sectors. And if the market is hot, first thing you want to looking at the number 1 item in here that you see will be technology, and follow those by in the strong sectors, which means if it is technology, then you want to be looking stocks that is not trending stronger here. But you can also look at second and third item followed by after the first item, which is what we did. We look at the item number 3, which is the energy, and you can see that's not many stock candidate that I can find even on our today, some of the Robie FA stocks, which I will go into next. But before that, let's go into some of the stocks that we had the week before, right? And previously. Right, is the hot sectors. Now, these were the one earlier on that I was talking about. And you could see here some of the stocks in here. Those that has a green Pentagon and started to run, you can see the percentage gain is bigger. Of course, the smaller the stocks, like those small cap stocks, right? They tend to do giving you much higher gain. Heng Yuan has a big fall, and if you had got out on the red Pentagon, you could have avoided the 21% here. So that's the general idea, some of those who are using our Smart Robie in here. Now, let's move our attention now from the sector to the Robie FA trade list. These are the fundamental stocks. The KLSE has turned red Pentagon in here. So having said that, from green to red, a lot of things may not be moving in the manner that it is. But of course, if you have some positive hot sectors like what we've seen before, Globetronics, that may be a good one. In here, Globetronics was one of the stocks we talked about last week on the 5th of December in here. We did talk about RCE Capital on the earlier episode 197 and 196, Westport, FBI in here. So these are some of those very highly rated and pretty good fundamental. Let's take a look at the first one that we have here. And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, which is on our website, or you can scan the QR code for that one. And you can also get the daily FA trade ideas sent to your mailbox. Now, the first one for episode 195, allowed it time to run, which is the 14th of November, was RCE Capital. Here you could see at that time we spotted it around 164. And the earnings was pretty good. As I said before, these are one of the good, highly rated Smart Robie, already up 19.5%. And if you have got this on this one, continue to ride it, and you would have 975 ringgit from a 5K trade. Pretty good one by just following the Robie FA list. And then on the same episode, 14th of November, Westport, right, 340, spotted it again on the Robie FA list, just like you see here. And we're going to be looking at that list even shortly. And right now, it hit 361. That was almost 1 month ago. As I said, some of these so-called fundamental stocks take time to move. And when they're in a nice trend, definitely if the sectors is supporting, earnings are pretty good. And then you will see the up move of 6.2% from our last discussion on the 14th of November, giving it a profit of 309 ringgit, potential from a 5K. And you can see here episode 197, 5th of December, which is last Monday, that's right. Last Monday, 197, we spotted 118, still holding up at 116 in here, Globetronics, because you got to give it a bit of time for this market to able to run, like we said before here, just switching to a wider chart. And but technology, as I said before, we are seeing the so-called December rally, and some of these may taper, but the only positive thing is the railway track is still pointing upwards in here. Who knows, this market is trying to hit up higher from here onwards. Now if you have any question, do let me know. And okay, and then the other one that we spotted on 14th November, episode 195, also is at 13 ringgit 14 cent, was now remember, this is before the election. Not many people will be buying it, but I did say that, look, these are good fundamental stock regardless whether the outcome of our economy, outcome of the prime minister and election. Market continue to move up here, hit 349. FBI, which is a Taiwanese loudspeaker maker, at 345, up 9.8%, giving it a 493 ringgit from a 5k trade. So pretty decent for those Robie FA stocks in here. And all you got to do is, you can see right at the middle here, let me just move up, switching to a wider chart here. You can see that's the stock that you want. Now let's take a look at, for the 12th of December, I have sort of took a peep early on. I couldn't find anything. And some of the stocks that I have here, you can see Pharma, which is really a penny stocks, and the setup hasn't been that great. Let's take a look at it. 7098. Go to the stock chart, stock comment. There you can see this stock is actually in the red Pentagon. It was in green Pentagon, but it has turned red Pentagon, and that's what I don't like. It's still pretty much range bound in here. The other one fundamentally is a good company, is United Chapter, rated 3 only, okay, so not that fantastic, but it has turned green Pentagon. So you can see from here, there's a lot of days where the volume seem to dip lower here, and it hasn't been that great. You don't see that kind of continuous long-term kind of stocks that I like. Liquidity is also kind of low too, so take note of this one. That's why today there is no stock pick, which is okay. As I said before, not every week you can have kind of stock pick that you have. All right, if you have any stocks you feel that should be in the list, pencil those in there, and I'm happy to look at them. So for summary, the December for 2022 rally, as I said before, may fizzle off, and one of those things that back it is the foreign funds not coming in here, but you might get some sort of rally towards the last 3 days. And if that's the case, the market might normalize to a January 2023, which is actually a bearish month outlook. Now take note, right? Bearish month outlook, but that doesn't mean some of the Robie FA stocks or those intraday stocks, it doesn't have run. Overall market sentiment may be pointing downwards, but those Robie FA collection lists, which is our fundamental collection list, will allow you to collect dividend while waiting for the longer trend in there. So check out the Pentagon sector in a hot list on a daily basis, so you can keep track of the overall being in the right sector. Okay, so not coming in, prepare. Now some of the trades that I have done in here, which I want to show you, done with live audio. I'm still hanging on. One of the trade that I did last Friday was Fiamma. We're still in the money, and early on SY Feng was also an intraday trade that I did on Friday. KM Long was a longer trade. They are still pretty much positive and negative in here, so I'm just going to hold it on. And some of them, if it doesn't move, like SYF, I might want to cut loss in here. It's still holding on. It's still green Pentagon. Fiamma is green Pentagon, and KM Long is green Pentagon. Let's take a look at them. Okay, first one, SMF. This is a trading stock to do bear in mind for our beginners, right? And these are the stocks for if you are beginner, they tend to be a bit more volatile. And this is really a penny stock. So you can see the trend's pretty nice, but it starts to taper off, and do hope that eventually we see some sort of mounting in here. But you can see volume start to taper off in here. So 10 o'clock, it's that price. So let's hope that it'll hold on, but it does mean the market likely to move sideways. So this is the first one. Then we have KM Long, which is a plantation stocks. looking at the stock chart here. This is our live chart. The last one was about 10 o'clock. And this one is about 9:41. So you can see from here, market's tending to make uptrend, but very, very slowly. But trend's still there, right? I choose these stocks because they're moving in what we call a railway track up. And last is Fiamma, which is intraday trade that I did. So check out some of the details. I talked about it on last Friday. So the Fiamma is also break up. Yep, you see I enter on the green Pentagon in here. Still looking good. And I hope that we have another big line change and be prepared to take profit. All right, be prepared to take profit. That was a 937 in here. So that's just a quick update of the charts that we have. And moving on to our announcement, right? Remember, the year-end sales will end tonight. Take opportunity for our VSA 360 and also get a chance to use a smart Robie for, I think, the same period that you'll get this stocks in here. So call 010-266-9781 and check out our year-end sales, which will end tonight in here. Now again, in a line, after if you sign up for our December sales, we are always being wanted to train you, especially for our trader, to move on to our orientation onboarding in here. You can see some of our top leaders, Nick, Ahmad, and Vince, starting to do very, very well. And we also want you to do that too in here. And this part and parcel of our training to groom you, to train you, to face the great opportunity that we see in 2023. Maybe we don't see the kind of trend that we want to, but definitely we see a lot on the intraday that you can see some of our trader already moving up nicely. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here and all things being young. And check out our new features for our stock alert, risk to reward, and the visual trading plan. And many of you, thank you again for your kind review for our Google. And we'll look at some stocks if you want to. Let me know. I'm happy to look at the stocks. Okay, we got Kevin to check on E-frame. Sure, we can do that. Let's take a look at E-frame. So I'll be using the, all right, E-frame here. So on Echo Frame here, that's a nice stock since green Pentagon. But remember, we have an upthrust here. So take some profit. I do hope that you just, for Kevin's sake, you understand about volume spread. I hope that you didn't buy at $1. Okay, if you bought at $1, then you're making the mistake that most beginners make, not understanding volume spread and others. And I do hope that you bought it at 72 cents, and that will be a nice one. Uptrust, take profit right now, exit the trade. I think it's a good idea too. All right, you'll be sitting on a nice profit. Good one if you have followed E-frame in here. And that's usually how the market is. Okay. Okay, we got Cool on Cycop. Yeah, this is also a nice one, right? You can see there's no green Pentagon because this one big move is already 72 cents. Actually, I bought these stocks before earlier on green Pentagon, but I got washed out. I cut. The market came here, and then all of a sudden this, 27% move. Right, 72% move. And usually this is the kind of big move that you see in here that usually don't get registered as a green Pentagon because these are very climatic. And right now you can see very climatic over here, but of course you can also switch that. Or this is monthly chart. Oh, apologize. Switch to a daily chart. That's right. So on the this is a daily chart. I'll make sure I get that. So you can see from here, every time when you see climatic volume that we see here, right? That's why we have another one big sell-off. We have the green Pentagon picked up. So it means it's range bound in here. All right. At this point, you can hold on, but if it does pick up here, you want to be selling because it's range bound, go up, down, up, down, up, down. This is where the support, but if we do break down, you want to be out on this stocks in here. I don't see this has much of a chance going up. You can see if you have a triple top here and no surprises if the market break lower and maybe moving lower in the coming January too. All right, so take note. Cool. Okay, great. That's all. Thanks again for especially those people who is in Selangor. I'm sure today is a public holiday. Enjoy the remaining of the day, and don't forget to give us a thumb up and let people know about our December sales, which will end tonight. And thank you for coming, and do join our Telegram channel here for all things that is stock market that will put you in the right position to take opportunity of the market, whether it is intraday or fundamental stock. Thank you again. Thank you for coming, and have a good day. Bye-bye.